All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're now going to take a look at the 2025 Super Bowl odds for each team. Now, I didn't know where I was going to look. I mean, I'm on DraftKings right now, um, but yeah. So we'll take a look at that because I was looking at I know Sports Illustrated. Um, there was a couple of other sites that I was looking at. Also, I'm looking at the Athletic I had. Um, but yeah, so right now the 49ers actually right now have the best odds to win the Super Bowl next year. The very early odds, because I know that's what a lot. I know ESPN, I think, or NFL Network, they'll show like, oh, here are the odds for the teams next year, and it's like, well, the Super Bowl just ended, but that's what we're doing right now. So the 49ers. Then you got the Chiefs. This is on DraftKings. So the 49ers are plus 550. Chiefs are plus 650. The Ravens are plus 900. The Bills are plus 1,000. The Detroit Lions are plus 1,200. The Bengals are plus 1,300. Dolphins are plus 1,700. The Eagles are plus 2,000. Packers and Cowboys, same thing. The Texans are plus 2,200. The Jets are plus 2,500, along with the Chargers. Jaguars are plus 3,000. Bears are plus 3,000. Wow. So the Bears are plus 3,000, and the Rams are plus 3,500. Browns are plus 3,500. I feel like the Rams and the Browns should be ahead of the Bears. But because especially with the Bears, we don't know what they're going to do with quarterback. Are they going to keep Justin Fields? Are they going to, I mean, it looks like they're going to keep the number one pick. They're looking for, I saw something that said they're looking for like a major package for the number one pick. But it seems like they're going to, I guess, keep the number one pick and trade Justin Fields. I mean, you would think that's what they're going to end up doing. But again, we got the whole off season to talk about that. So that's interesting. And again, I mean, this is again very early. I mean, depending on how free agency and the draft goes, this is all going to change. But yeah, the 49ers got the best odds to win the Super Bowl next year, right now at the moment. And then you got the Chiefs, of course. Again, I mean, these are just very early. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's just, you got injuries, and again, we got the whole offseason, free agency, the draft. I mean, let's go all the way to the bottom. So the Carolina Panthers have a plus 25,000 to win the Super Bowl next year. Then you got the Titans at 15,000, and then you got several teams that have plus 10,000. The Broncos, the Raiders, the Giants, and the Patriots, the Commanders as well. The Saints are plus 8,000. The Cardinals are plus 8,000. The Steelers are plus 7,500. Bucks are plus 7,000. Seahawks are plus 6,500. Then you got the Vikings, 5,500. Colts at 4,500. Falcons 3,500. Same as the Browns and the Rams, like I was talking about a little bit before. Yeah. It's funny how like there's like just like a huge gap between like the Panthers and the other teams, but yeah. I mean, listen. I mean, the ones that are closer to the top, you expect those teams to be in the mix next year, of course. I mean, the 49ers and the Chiefs, especially, after just playing in the game last night. The Ravens, of course, season they had. Josh Allen, and the Bills. I mean, we'll see what happens there. I mean, especially because, I mean, who knows what happens with Stephon Diggs? I mean, is he going to stick around? Is he going to want to be out of there? Because, that's been, that rumor's been circulating for, a few years now. It's, listen, we got a long way to go. But again, I just thought it was something to just look at and, see where at least some of the playoff teams are. I mean, I kind of just ran through basically all the teams. But yeah, that's at least on DraftKings. I mean, it's different. It depends on where you look. But, I mean, listen, the teams that we got this year in the Super Bowl doesn't mean we're going to get them next year. But also, credit to Peter Schrager because, on Good Morning Football, because on NFL Network, because he's predicted like the last like 6 Super Bowl matchups. which I don't know how you do that, but yeah, I mean he's just had that luck, and he got it right again. Got the same matchup, Chiefs winning, and yeah, so we'll see what. So if he is, so it's like Groundhog Day. So he's gonna predict now next year's Super Bowl matchup when that gets closer. Because I think what happens is he does it, on opening night. He just says what his matchup's gonna be, before the first game of the year. So we'll find out first game of the year what the Super Bowl is gonna be. So I think that's where the NFL script writers get their script is from Peter Schrager. So there you go. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy that he was able to predict that. And I, my score prediction, what did I say for the score prediction was? I said, what did I say? 28, 24, 27, 24, something like that. So I was close, 3-point game, 25, 22. Yeah, kind of a weird score though. And actually, someone who got very close to the correct score, I think, was Cynthia Freeland on NFL Network. Because I think she said, what'd she say? It was like 25-23 the final score was. But yeah, she was close, 1 point off. So, I mean, I think I said it was, I thought it was going to be a 3-point game. I'd have to go back and check. But, hey, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, got a good game, got off to a slow start, but like I keep saying, great finish. And with that, football is over. Until we get to the UFL in the spring, but, football's over. And, listen, it was a great season, as always. I'm hoping for less injuries next year. I mean, that's one of the things I would have to say. But, that's part of the game. But, I mean, it's... At the end of the day, we ended up with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. You had all these teams like the Dolphins, the Eagles getting off to a 10-1 start, the Ravens finishing with the number 1 seed, the Bills on that, going from 6-6 and nobody, losing to the Eagles in overtime and people thinking, yeah, they're not making the playoffs to, making a run. You thought with how the conference was that maybe the Cowboys would get back to the conference championship. But and the Chiefs, it just looked like, yeah, I guess maybe this just isn't their year. But they, like I said, they flipped that switch, and they looked like a different team in the playoffs. They looked like, the Chiefs that we're accustomed to seeing. I mean, not like not the juggernaut Chiefs, but they, when they had to, they showed up. And listen, they're the new dynasty. They're the new villain. They're the new villain too, because this is what happened with the Patriots. I mean, again, when they first started winning Super Bowls, I was very young. I was, a baby. I was, and then when they won in 03 and 04, I mean, again, I wasn't watching. My earliest memory, I would say, is the Giants Super Bowl, the first one, because I remember when the Patriots took the lead, 14-10. I remember I was like crying, like I just remember that because I thought the Giants were going to lose. That's my earliest memory of football, I would say, is that. But after that, I mean, it's then the Patriots, then they went on their run, during my prime years of watching football. I mean, still in my prime years, but I'm just saying. That's what the Chiefs are doing right now. And they're the villain. You got to beat them. And for some teams, they just cannot do it. There have been very few that have been able to do it. 2 guys, Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. Those are the only guys to beat Mahomes in the playoffs. So who's going to be the next person to do it? Is it going to be Joe? Well, it's not Brady unless Brady decides, you know what, I'm coming out of retirement to take him down. No, but it's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's the lone guy. So who's it going to be? Is it Lamar Jackson? I mean, it didn't happen this year. Is it Josh Allen? He can't seem to get it done. Now you got Jim Harbaugh in L.A. with the Chargers. Is it going to be them? The Browns, which with Deshaun Watson coming back and a healthy team, is it going to be them? I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. What about the Dolphins? What if the Chiefs had to go play them in Miami? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, in my head, I'm kind of answering my own question, but which it's listen. It didn't happen this year again with the Chiefs team that you would say was not the best during the regular season. Again, I relate them. My comparison to them is that 2018 Patriots team. Again, team that won this year. That year, they weren't in the regular season. They weren't the best, but then they got to the playoffs and they were a different team. They played the Chargers in the divisional round. Everybody's like, oh, the Chargers with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers playing well. That defense with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. I mean, that Derwin James, that team's going to beat the Patriots. The Patriots are done. Patriots destroyed them. Then they play the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Chiefs are the 1 seed. Patriots beat them in overtime to go to the Super Bowl. And they beat the Rams in a low-scoring defensive battle. It was kind of like the Chiefs here. I mean, the regular season, it just receivers dropping passes and the offense just wasn't playing well. I mean, it didn't matter because you got to the playoffs. They win their first game in Arrowhead against the Dolphins. They beat the Bills on the road. Again, Patrick Mahomes has never played a road playoff game. Beats Josh Allen on the road and then goes and plays the Ravens, the number 1 seed in the AFC Championship game, and they win that. And then they go to the Super Bowl, and they get off to a slow start last night, but they put it together, and they get the win in overtime. The second Super Bowl to ever go to overtime. And, I mean, like I said, we are witnessing greatness right now, whether you like it or not. So you got to appreciate it. Because, again, like we said, with the Patriots, who knows if this will ever happen again, but right now the Chiefs have kind of taken over, and they're becoming that next team. Now, again, they still got ways to go if they want to catch, the Patriots, if Mahomes wants to catch Brady in terms of championships. But, listen, the Patriots went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. Now, again, I don't know if that's going to happen with Mahomes. Right now, it doesn't look like it. But, listen, the Patriots went a long time without winning a Super Bowl, like I just said. So, and then they won 3 more. And then Brady went off and won another one. So, I mean, maybe Mahomes follows the same path. We go 10 years. They go 10 years without winning one. Then they win 3 more. And then Mahomes goes to a different team and wins another one. I don't know. We'll see. But, the NFL season is now over. So, we're going to be talking about draft stuff and free agency and all that. Trade talks and trade rumors, guys wanting out of teams and, whatever. That's all coming up. So, listen, the season might be over, but there will be stuff to talk about in the offseason. So, but I know maybe some people are getting tired of us talking about the Super Bowl across the GSMC Sports Network for the last couple of weeks. Just because, again, that was the main topic, was the Super Bowl. But, and we'll still continue to talk about it a little bit throughout the week. But obviously, we'll sprinkle in a lot of off-season stuff because that's where we are now. So, but yeah, with that is all the time that we have for today. I thank you guys for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. Same time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.